Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing great. And in today's video, we are going to discuss paper 2, April 2019. So the first question here says to you, the temperature can be measured in degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit. Here is a function to change degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit. So here they're saying to you that from Celsius to Fahrenheit, you multiply by 1.8 and then you add 32. So use this function to change it 25 degrees Celsius to degrees Fahrenheit. What are we supposed to do? You're supposed to use your calculator because this is paper 2. You're going to do 25 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to use here, I'm going to write the steps. 25, you multiply it by 1.8, and then you add to this answer 32. This is going to give you the degrees in Fahrenheit. Open your calculator and do this. 25 times 1.8. Here you go. And then you're supposed to add 32. The brackets here will not actually change anything because even if you do the order of operations, it's going to start with the multiplication anyway. So the answer is 77. All right. If they want it from Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius, we're supposed to do the inverse operations. So I'm going to subtract the 32 and then I divide 1.8. Work out this. All right. To work this out, you're going to need to use a calculator. 14 squared. First, in order to do that, you must write the fraction bar. So the fraction bar is the first thing that you must put on your calculator. The numerator is 14 squared. Here you go. All right, if you write something else over here, you just need to do first the plus. So here's plus and then 29. After that, you go down and write 3 multiply by 2 squared, and then you minus the 7. You press equals. It gives you exactly 45. The next question over here is a teacher keeps a record of how many times Mike arrives late to school. The results are shown in the tally chart. Use the results to estimate the probability that Mike arrives late to school. So here late is actually 15 and on time is only 5. So what is the probability that Mike arrives late to school? It is 15 out of 20. So 15 out of 20. Mister, I don't have this here. Yeah, because you haven't simplified yet. Simplify, you divide this by 5 is 3, you divide this by 5 is 4. Here is saying to you the population of a city is 248,675. Rounded the population to the nearest thousand. So the thousands is here. Here are the thousands. Look at the digits that is after it. Is strong or weak? Is it 5 or more or less than 5? It's 5 or more, which means it's stronger. So the 8 will become 9. So this will give it 1. The 8 becomes 9. Everything before this underlined digit stays the same. Everything after it, it depends. If it's part of the whole number, zeros. If you had a decimal after it, for example, this way, then remove it. So the whole digits, the numbers in the whole number, the digits in the whole number, you just turn them into 0. If you had decimal places, you just remove them. All right. The city covers an area of 52.747 square kilometers, rounded the area to 1 decimal place. The same idea. Look at this. We agreed here. I'm going to look at the digit after it. It is weak, so the 7 stays the same. It's not going to take 1, so the 7 stays the same. Everything before it stays the same. Everything after it, oh, decimal places, don't turn them into 0. Decimal places, remove them. Mister, if I write 0, 0, will it be wrong? Yes, it will be wrong. So decimal places, you must remove them in rounding, okay? After the underlined digit. Here, they want you to reflect this shape. Reflection here, if you notice, it is x equals y, middle line. The middle line here is x equals y, which means it is diagonal. So the diagonal, you need to move diagonally as well. So first thing that you're supposed to do is that you label the vertices. So here you can label them with letters, with numbers, whatever you want. So I chose here letters. The most important thing is that when you label them in order. This point is connected to this. So this is A. The one that is connected to it is B. Then the one that is connected to B is C. Then the one that is connected to C is D. The next one and the last one here is going to be E. Okay, if someone started from here, A, then B is the down or the bottom part, no problem at all. The most important thing is that you just put them in order or you label them in order. But let's do this. A, let's start with reflecting A. It moved here one square diagonal, two squares, three squares diagonal. Then continue after the middle line. One, two, three. It is here. And this point is A. All right, after that, I got B. 1.5 diagonal, then half, one diagonal. And this is going to be B. Then you got C, one diagonal, then I want one diagonal. Here is C. After that, we got D, which is half, then half. After that, you got E, 1.5, half, one. Here is E. With your ruler, you start connecting. What am I supposed to start with? Start from A, and then you connect it to B. Definitely with a ruler. I'm sorry that I do not have this tool at the moment. That's why I'm not using a ruler, but you must use a ruler. A connected to B, connected to C, then D, then E. After that, you go back to A. And this is the reflection, going to be much neater and much better than mine when you use a ruler. And a pencil, don't forget, drawings must be done with a pencil. Because if you make a mistake, it's ruined. You will not be able to fix it if it's in pen. But pencil, you can erase it and you can draw it again. So, pencil. Next one over here, this line, the equation of this line, it passed through or went through 4. But 4x or 4 in the y-axis, it's 4 in the x-axis, so it is x equals 4. Draw the line y equals 2, so I'm going to go to 2 on the y-axis. And it goes this way with a ruler. And make sure that you also use a pencil. Because if you make a mistake, it's going to be ruined. So you draw a line over here, a straight line with a ruler. This is a scale drawing of a garden. They're saying to you that the scale here, if you draw 1 centimeter, represents 2 meters. So 1 centimeter is actually 2 meters. By measuring, find the diameter of the pond. So I need to measure this line. You need to measure it. I'm going to use a ruler. Just a second. I'm going to use a ruler here after I cut this. All right, I got it here. Now I have a ruler and you measure it. On your paper, it might be a little bit different because of the printing. The printing makes it like shrink a little bit. And here also, I took a screenshot. It might be a little bit different. So whatever is there, whatever you get on your ruler, if you got only 3 centimeters, you must measure it to the 0, must be on the circumference this way. And you must measure it here. I have it 3.5 or almost 3.4. 3.4. You should multiply it by 2 because they said to you that 1 centimeter represents 2 meters. So 3.4 times 2, which is going to give you exactly 6.8 centimeters. You can get back to the mark scheme to make sure if your answer is correct or not, and actually trust your measurement, because even the mark scheme is going to give you your paper is printed. When printing, it shrinks a little bit. So you're going to find that your answer is a little bit different than the one that is there on the mark scheme. Just to measure it, whatever comes to you, double it is going to give you the answer. 6 meters, sorry, 6.8 meters. All right. After that, they're telling you what in the question. The owners wanted to build a shed in the garden. The shed measures 3 meters by 4 meters. Okay, but they said to you in 1 centimeter is actually 2 meters. So I'm going to divide this by 2, divide this by 2. So you need a rectangle. Your rectangle must be straight, definitely with a straight line and with a ruler and a pencil. Your rectangle must be 3 divided by 2, which is 1.5 by 2 centimeters. Well, actually, it's not going to look like a rectangle, a very clear rectangle. You're going to find yours looking very close to being a square. Yours is going to be a little bit closer to being a square. But the most important thing with your ruler, you must draw a line over here aside that is 2 centimeters. This is the length. The width must be 1.5 centimeters. And also label them. Label it for them to see that you want here 2 centimeters and here 1.5 centimeters. I mean by labeling here, put the measurement. Carlos swims 90 lengths of a swimming pool. The swimming pool is 25 meters long. Work out the total distance Carlos swims, give your answer in kilometers. So here they said to you 90 lengths multiplied by 25 meters. This is going to give you exactly using your calculator. 90 by 25 is going to give you 2,250. Don't write 2,250 because this is 2,250 meters. You want it in kilometers, then you must divide by 1,000 to get it in kilometers. So it is 2.250 kilometers, or you can ignore the zero at the end. Carlos either swims on his front or on his back. So I got front, I got back. He swims lengths on his front and on his back in the ratio of 4:1. So the total is 5. Work out the number of lengths Carlos swims on his front. Well, the total number of lengths, it was actually 90. So I'm going to put 90 over here. How many lengths did he swim on his front, on the front? Well, I'm going to do what? 90 divided by 5, and the answer multiplied by 4. So 90 divided by 5, and the answer you multiply by the 4 because it wanted the front. Okay? So what is going to give you? It's going to give you 18 times 4, or here you go, 90 divided by 5, which is 18. Then you multiply by 4, it's going to give you exactly 72. So it is 72 lengths. Draw a ring around the equations of the two lines that do not intersect each other. Do not intersect means that they are parallel. This is the meaning of do not intersect. So you're going to find that the two lines that do not intersect is this one, this line, and the other one that is parallel to it, which is this one. So y equals 5 minus x, and x plus y equals 1. Write down the solution to these simultaneous equations. 2x plus 1, 0.5x minus 2. So 2x plus 1, which is this line over here, and let me choose a different color for this question, not to confuse you. So they're talking about this and this. They wanted the solution x and y. Look for the point of intersection. Where do they intersect? They intersect here. What is the x of this point? If you go up, you're going to find out that the x is -2. So x is -2 and the y is -3. So -2, -3. Here are the instructions to calculate the area S of the curved surface of the prism. Write down a formula for S. All right, they told you S equals, to find S, you need to multiply A and B. So it's AB. Then multiply by pi. So I'm going to do A, B, pi. Now I multiplied A by B by pi, then divide by 2, then over 2. That's it. Or someone else might write S equals half AB pi. Correct. Any of them. Here is the formula for the volume of the prism. Work out the volume of the prism when A is 7.6 and B is 9.2. So volume equals pi. You multiply by A, which is 7.6. You multiply by B, which is 9.2, but B is squared over 8. You get your calculator and you write this. I must start with the fraction bar and I write at the top pi multiplied by 7.6 multiplied by 9.2, but the 9.2 is squared over 8 equals 252.6. They want you to round your answer to. They did not say. So work out the volume of the prism when A equals. So they're going to accept it. It's just going to be 252.6. You can write this. This is if you find a non-terminating decimal rounded to one decimal place, if they don't mention it. Here in this one, Pierre is solving the equation x squared plus 4x equals 56. Using a trial and improvement method, this table shows some of his working. So he said this equation, when x is 5, he found that it's going to give him 45. But this is too small. He wants to reach 56. So when he tried x with 6, he found that it is 60. 6 squared plus 4 times 6, it gave him 60, which is too big. I want 56 only. So he tried 5.6 and he kept trying. He's getting closer every time he gets closer to 56. So he made it a little bit smaller, 5.75. We need to remove x and write 5.75 to complete the table. So let's do this. When x is 5.75, I'm going to do 5.75 squared, because it's x squared, plus 4, but the 4 is multiplied by x, which is 5.75, equals, which is 56.0625, which is what? We want only 56, which is too big. Why am I too big? It's very, very close. Yeah, but too big here doesn't actually mean that it is so far away. No, this is not what's meant. What they mean over here, too big or too small, is it bigger than 56 or smaller than 56 or exactly 56? Well, it's not exactly 56. Right. So it is bigger, so that's why we wrote it too big. You got one of the two options, right? Too big or too small. So this is question A, done. Question B, they're saying to write down the solution to the equation correct to one decimal place. Mister, we want to reach a 56. It is definitely a little bit smaller than this. Why, Mister? Because 5.75 gave me 56.0, a lot of other digits, or 625. So I want to go down a little bit. What is down a little bit? You're going to find that it is 5.7, something that is smaller than 5, right? 4 or 4 and whatever the digits that are after 4. I don't care about what is going to be after 4. What I care about is that it is definitely going to be smaller than 5.75. So it's going to be 5.7, 4 something, or 3 something, or 2 something, whatever. It is going to be 5.7, a digit that is smaller than 5, to go below 56. Then rounding this to one decimal place is definitely 5.7. Because it's definitely the second digit after the decimal place, after the first decimal place, will definitely be smaller than 5. I don't care what it's going to be. I care that it's going to be smaller than 5. So rounding it to one decimal place is going to give you exactly 5.7. Anastasia, whatever the name is A years old. Blessy is B years old. And Manjit is M years old. Blessy, which is B, is older than Manjit. So draw a ring around the correct inequality. B is greater than M, this one. Anastasia is less than, so A is less than half the age of Blassie. So less than half of Blassie, B over 2. Or A is less than half than Blassie. Write this statement as an inequality, that's it. Find the percentage of the number of the runners that take less than 1 hour. Take less than 1 hour, so they take less than 60 minutes. So how many take then less than 60 minutes? We need to see this because here this is from 30 to 40, and here from 40 to 50, and here is from 50 to 60. Well, so I'm going to start counting from here. This is 20 runners, and here is 15 runners, and here is 10 runners. Add them up, they're going to give you exactly 45. 45 out of what? Out of how many? They told you already 85 runners. So 45 out of 85. You do this as a percentage. How we must You do the fraction 45 over 85. You multiply by 100, which gives you the percentage, which is 52.9, 52.9%. All right. The next question, draw the enlargement of triangle A with scale factor 3 and center C. So here they give you the center of enlargement. But they told you scale factor 3, so I'm going to start from the center of enlargement and I move towards the closest vertex to point C, the closest vertex to point C. So here it is 1 square up, 1 square right to move to it. Yeah, but it's scale factor 3, so I'm going to move 3 squares up, 3 squares right over here. This is going to be my new beginning. Now I need to move up. I need to copy my shape, copying this, but this point is going to move from here to here. So going up this side is only one. I'm going to make it 3 with a pencil and a ruler. 3. Must use a ruler. And this one over here, going to this vertex, how did you move from this? I moved 1 down, 2 right. So you're going to move 3 down, and instead of 1 down, multiply by 3. And instead of 1 down, it's going to be 3 down. And instead of 2 right, it's going to be 6 right. 3, 4, 5, 6. And you connect with your ruler and your pencil. Definitely mine is not the best because I'm not using a ruler. So you definitely make sure that you use a ruler. Some cars are surveyed to compare engine size in liters with the time taken to reach a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. The results are shown on the scatter graph. Here you got the engine size in liters, and here you got the time in seconds to reach 100 kilometers per hour. Another car has an engine size of 1.8, which is here, and it takes 9.5 seconds to reach 100 kilometers. Add this data to the scatter graph. So 1.8 reaching 9.5, 1.8 reaching 9.5 is here on top of these two. So this is the first question. Question B, use the graph to estimate the time taken by a car with engine size 1.7 liters. So first, in order to estimate, you must draw the line of best fit with your ruler. So let me take this. To Clever Math application. You need to draw line of best fit in order to be able to estimate. The line of best fit goes through halfway through most or the majority of the points. Halfway through the majority of the points. There you go. All right. Then what are we supposed to do after that? I'm supposed to look at the question. They said to you what? Estimate 1.7 liters. So I'm going to use my ruler in order to go from 1.7 until I reach my line of best fit. And I go this direction. You're going to find that it is very close to 9. So you can say it is approximately 9. This is the answer, 9. Or you can say the time is 9 seconds. Or you can actually say maybe it's around 8.9 or something. It's very, very close to 9. And by the way, it depends on where you drew exactly the line of best fit. But you're going to find in the mark scheme, they're giving you a specific range, and you're going to find that 9 and 8.9 is within the range that is accepted. If someone draws the line of best fit so far away, from halfway through the majority of the points, then your answer is not going to be within the range that is accepted. So make sure that the line of best fit is drawn as much as you can accurately. Here are four, so I agreed here, this is going to be 9 seconds. Here are 4 lengths. Put them in order. To put them in order, you must convert them into a specific unit. I'm going to choose a unit that is in between. I got a Mr. Centimeter and meter are in between. I'm going to choose meters. Just most important thing is that you make them all into the same unit. So this one, to make it into meters, you multiply by 1,000. So it's going to be 75 exactly meters. And this one is already 7.6 meters. This one, you divide by 100 to make it into meters. And this one over here, I'm going to make it into centimeter first, which is going to be 78 centimeters, and then into meters, which is going to be 0.78 meters. Now you can put them in order from smallest to largest. The smallest unit or the smallest measurement, you're going to find that it is 0.77 meters, which is actually 77 centimeters. And after that, you got 0.78 meters, which is 780 millimeters. And after that, you got 7.6 meters, which is 7.6 meters already written here. And the largest is the 75 meters, which is 0.075 kilometers. Make sure that you write the original measurements that are given to you in the question. Chen is a lorry driver. He earns a bonus if he drives at least 2.8 kilometers per liter of fuel, at least 2.8 kilometers per liter. The figures show some information about Chan's last journey. Journey time, average speed, amount of fuel that is used. Work out whether Chen earned a bonus for this journey or not, and show you working. Okay, in order to know, here they told you at least 2.8 kilometers per liter. But Mister, I do not know actually the distance. You must find the distance. This is the first thing. You must find the distance because I want to know how many kilometers got driven by per liter. So I need to find the distance. What is the distance? You're going to find here the distance that is traveled in 4.5 hours. Distance equals speed times time. Speed times time. So distance equals speed. If you remember that triangle that you also took in physics, distance, speed, time. So distance over speed gives you the time. Distance over time gives you the speed. Speed times time gives you the distance. So here speed times time, which is 61 multiplied by 4.5 using your calculator. 274.5 kilometers. This is what he drove. All right, this is the distance. Oh, Mister, is that it? Actually, no, because I need to find exactly how many kilometers got driven per liter. So I got 96 liters for that. So this took 274.5 kilometers for 96 liters. Okay, Mr. But I want only 1 liter. I want only 1 liter per liter. So divide this by 96. So you're going to find that it is 274.5. You divide it by 96, which is going to give you exactly 2.85 or 2.86 if you round it to 2 decimal places, 2.86 kilometers per liter. So first I found the distance. I divided the distance by the 96 liters to find the distance per liter is what? 2.86. They told you what? He earns a bonus if he drives at least 2.8. Mister, he drove more than 2.8. They said at least 2.8, which means 2.8 or more. So he earns the bonus. Show you working. Here you go. I found that he earns 2.86 kilometers per liter. Decide if these statements are true or false. 2.3 kilograms is not equal to 23,000 grams. Mr. 2.3 kilograms multiplied by 1,000 is going to give you exactly 200,300. Not to 23 kilogram, 23,000. So yes, they are not equal. Yes. 150 milliliters into 0.3 liters. Mister, I need to multiply this by 1,000 to get milliliters, which is going to be equal to 300 milliliters. Is it greater than 150? Yes, it is greater. So it is true. 300 milliliters is bigger than 150 milliliters. Here, this one, 5 meters and 5 millimeters. If you want 5 meters into millimeters, first semester, can I make it into centimeters? Fine. Multiplying by 100, which is 500 centimeters. But Mister, can I get this now into millimeters? Yes, multiplying it by 10, which is going to give you 5,000 millimeters. Oh, is this greater than that? No, they are equal, so false. The diagram shows a trapezium. The area of the trapezium is 30 centimeters squared. A and B are both whole numbers. A is less than B. Yeah, obvious. Work out one possible pair. This means that there is more than one possible pair of values for A and B. All right, Mister, I know that the area of a trapezium is half times height. Half times height. Then multiply, or half of the height, then multiplied by base 1 plus base 2, which is A plus B. Okay, the area, I have it already. What is the area? Area is 30, they told you, equals half of the height, which is half of the 6, which is 3. So 3 multiplied by A plus B. Oh, Mister, A plus B must be what? A 3 times what is going to give you the 30? 3 times 10. Or if you send the 10 and the 3 to the other side, division, you're going to find that A plus B equals 10. A plus B must be equal to 10. So give me any two values that if you add them, they give you 10. Again, I said that the area of the trapezium is half of the height multiplied by A plus B. Half of the height, the area is already 30 centimeters. The centimeters squared, half of the height, which is half of the 6, is 3. Multiplied by A plus B. Send the 3 to the other side, division instead of multiplication, so it is equal to 10. A plus B must be equal to 10. You can write that A is 4 and the B is 6. Yes, they add up to 10, and A is smaller than B. You can write another value. You can write maybe 3 and 7, accepted. You can write 2 and 8, accepted. You can write 1 and 9, but not to that extent, Yani. It's not that big. So just make sure that you're close. Maybe like 4 2 and 6, 3 and 7, 2 and 8. 1 and 9 even is going to be accepted. But make sure that they both add up to 10. and make sure that A is smaller than B. So don't do the opposite. Don't tell me A is 6 and B is 4. Wrong. A is smaller than B. So A is the 4 and B is the 6. A cinema records the ratio of children to adults in the audiences of two films shown last week. Film A, children to adults, 11 to 19. Film B, 5 to 7. Tick the film that has the greater proportion of children in the audience. Greater proportion of the children. So here it means children over the total. So here this one is 11. So film A, show your work. Film A, the proportion of children is 11 over 30. While film B, the proportion of the children is 5 over 12. How can I compare them, Mr.? You can either convert them into a decimal or a percentage. Much better to make it a percentage. A percentage, you multiply the fraction by 100 as we agreed before many times. So it is 11 over 30. And you multiply this by 100. It's 36.7 rounded percent. While the other one, which is 5 over 12, 5 over 12, if you multiply it by 100, 41.7 rounded. So which one has a greater proportion? It is film B, has a greater proportion, 41.7%. Question 21. The diagram shows a star inside a square of side length 8 centimeters. The star covers 40% of the area. So it is 40. The star is 40% of area of a square is what? Side by side. So 8 times 8, which is 64. The area of the square is 64 side by side. So the star is 40% of 64, which is what? Go to the calculator. You can write actually here 40%. You can write over here 40%. The percentage is on top of the bracket. Or you can write 40 over 100. Or you can write 0.4 as a decimal. 40% multiplied by 64 equals 25.6. So the area of the star, equals 64.4 centimeters squared. Oh, what? Where did I get this number from? 25.6. Sorry, 25.6. 25.6 centimeters squared is the area of the star. Okay, so again, 25.6 centimeters squared. The same star is placed inside a rectangle with width 8 centimeters. The length of the rectangle is 60% longer. 60% longer? Okay, can I get it 60% of 8? Then I add, because it's longer than the width. 60% of 8, then I add it to 8. Yes, fine. Or you can just multiply by the multiplier. It is 8 multiplied by 1.6. You can get 60% of 8, which is 60% times 8, and then you add the answer to 8. Or you can just multiply by the multiplier, 8 times 1.6, which is going to give you 12.8. So the length is 12.8 centimeters. I found it. Calculate the percentage of the rectangle that the star covers. The star covers a 25.6 as the area of the star, but it is out of what? It's 25.6 out of what? 25.6 out of, what is the area of the whole rectangle? It is 12.8 times 8 is going to give you the area of the whole rectangle, which is going to give you final answer is what? Fraction 25.6 over 12.8 multiplied by 8 equals quarter. But they want it as a percentage, so multiply by 100 We know that it's 25%. So 25% exactly. Area of the star over area of the rectangle. But they want percentage, so times 100 at the end. 25%. Draw a ring around the largest measurement. Okay. Here we know that 1 centimeter cubed equals 1 milliliter. You must know this. 1 centimeter cubed is the same as 1 milliliter. So if you convert this into milliliter, what is it going to be? This one is going to be 4,200 milliliter, because we know that 1 centimeter cubed is the same as 1 milliliter. So this is 4,200 milliliters. And this is already written for me, 52,000 milliliter. That 45 liters, how many milliliters? It is 45,000 milliliters. We multiply by 1,000. What about this one, mister? How can I find it? Millimeter, not centimeter. You told me, okay, but I taught you how to convert this into centimeter. From millimeter to centimeter, what do? You learned this in Unit 6. From millimeter to centimeter, you divide by 10. Okay, but if I want from millimeter cubed to centimeter cubed, you divide by 10 cubed, which is divided by 10,000. So this is equal to what? This is equal to 54 centimeter cubed. Oh, which is the same as, we agree centimeter cubed is the same as milliliter. So it is the same as 54 milliliter. What have you done? I converted millimeter cubed into centimeter cubed, which is the same as the milliliter. So now draw a ring around the largest of them all. You're going to find that it is this one. It's the largest of them all. Here, Yusuf says, older people can remember better than younger people. Yusuf does an experiment to see if this is true. So let's see about this. Here, they said older people, 31 to 40, they memorize the 26 out of 40 could memorize the numbers that he showed them. So it is 26 out of 40. Older people. Why? Which is what, actually? I cannot leave it this way because this is out of 20. This is out of 20. Why did you choose out of 40? Make it out of 22. Or out of 20 as well. I mean, not out of 22, the number. No, out of 20 as well. So make it out of 20. So divide by 2, what is it going to be? 13 over 20. Okay, so this is equivalent to 13 over 20. I want it to be over 20, just like the rest. All right, good. So 13 over 20. What about the others? The younger people, they are 16 out of 20. So who memorizes better? Those are who could memorize. Those who can memorize better are actually more in the younger people. So no, it does not support it because older people are 13 out of 20 and younger people, 16 out of 20 could memorize, which is bigger. So no, this evidence does not support. The last question in this exam, they have given you this cube and they are asking you if how many cubes can fit in this cuboid. First, I need to convert all the measurements to be the same. So this is 1.2 meters, which is actually 120 centimeters. Okay, this is 120 centimeters. I multiplied by 100. Good. How many of this cube, how many cubes of this can fit in the length? How many can fit in this length? You're going to find here that this one, which is 120 centimeters, divided by 3, you can fit here in the length, you can fit 40 small cube, 40 cubes. How did you do it, mister? I did here 120 divided by 3, which is 40 cubes. This is the length. All right. What about the width? How many cubes can fit? You're going to find here in the width 30 centimeters. So I have each cube is only 3 centimeters. So 30 divided by 3, which is 10. 10 cubes can fit. What about the height? Or you can take it from there. The height, it is 50 centimeters. How many cubes can fit in there? You're going to find 16 point something. I'm not going to put half a cube or 3/4 of a cube in there. So you're going to find that it is 16 cubes can fit in here. 16 cubes maximum can fit in the height. So let's do this. You're going to find here 40 cubes. So 40 cubes multiplied by 10 cubes multiplied by the height, which is 16 cubes. You do this on the calculator, I guess it's going to give you 6,400. It is going to be 40 by 10 by 16, which is 6,400 cubes can fit in this. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in another video.